Hi guys, Autumn here today to do my August 2017 wrap up part 2. I will leave part 1 linked down below if you're interested to watch that. I have read 14 books in the last 2 weeks, and this wrap up will include my 7-7 wrap up readathon, but I did not accomplish 7 books in 7 days. I think I only read 5, but still. So yeah, let's get started. I don't have 3 of the books I'm going to talk about because I borrowed them from my library. So I'm just going to talk about those real quick. And that is the Phil Party series by Abby Klein. So we have book 1 Until Friday Night, which was a reread. I gave this 3.5 out of 5 stars. It follows Maggie and West. It's a YA football romance. I won't give you too much detail because I think that's better going into it without knowing much. And it's book 1 in the Phil Party. And then book 2 in that series is Under the Light by Abby Klein. Again, this was a reread. This follows Willa and Gunnar. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. Again, YA football romance. And then the third book in that series, After the Game, follows Riley and Brady and Riley's daughter. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars, and this book was my favorite book in the series, and that came out on in August, I think the 22nd of August. So I really did enjoy that one. And yeah, those are the 3 I don't own a physical copy of, and I probably won't. If I ever want to reread them, I'll just borrow them from my library. Now I'm just going to talk about the ones that are on my Kindle, just because it's easier to do. Maybe easier to do. The first one I'm going to talk about I actually borrowed from Kindle Unlimited. So I don't actually own the physical copy of this either, and this came out during the month of August too, and that is I Don't by Letty Harper. This is my first book by her. I own a few of them, I just never read them, and since in July during Prime Month or Prime Day deals, Amazon had the Kindle Unlimited for like a year for like $80, so I did it. So yeah, I gotta read some of the Kindle Unlimited books throughout the months. This follows Holden and Janelle, and they get married in Vegas. Holden is actually Janelle's brother's best friend, and that happens 5 years, and she doesn't know she's married for 5 years, because she doesn't remember that night, so she doesn't know she's married. She was on a reality show, kind of like The Bachelors, and she has to get married for that show to win some money that she needs, and they tell her she has to get divorced, and she's like, what? I'm married? And then she goes and to Holden and asks for a divorce, and he said that she has to live with him for 6 months to a year. And yeah, I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. It was very enjoyable, and yeah. Then I read The Soulmate. Oh, The Soulmate, I don't know, for whatever reason on this Kindle, on this Fire, The Soulmate just always bugs out. So I will just talk about it. This is book 4 in the Roommate series by Kendall Ryan. It's a standalone. This one follows Mason and Bren. They have a one-night stand, and she gets pregnant. and he happens to be her doctor. And stuff happens. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars too, and that also came out in August, and that was on the 14th. So, yeah. And then the last Kindle book I read is book 6.6 in the Assassin series. This is Wanting to Forget. It's a novella. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. This follows Jordy, who is, he just got an injury, and he got injured in Laces and Lace, and he is recovering, and he goes down to New Orleans. This is more on the sexy side, so just beware. So, yeah. And now on to the physical books I read. The first one is Kiss My Boots by Harper Sloan. This is book 2 in the Coming Home series. This follows Quinn and Tate. I gave this a 3.5. This is a second chance romance. And this also came out in July, so it's a new release. Yeah, it's a cowboy series. And Tate is the doctor. And yeah. Then I reread More and More by Krista and Becca Ritchie. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. Really enjoyed it. This follows Thora and Nikolai. And Thor moves to Las Vegas to become a acrobat. And yeah, she meets Nikolai, who is one of the famous acrobats in Las Vegas, and he trains her. Then I read Bombshell by C.D. Russ. This was the first book by this author. This is book 1 in the Hollywood A-List series. This was a romance reveal book. And this follows Brad and Kara. Brad is a Hollywood actor, and he finds out that he has a daughter, a 5-year-old daughter that he did not know about, and the 5-year-old's daughter, mom, passed away, and Brad has to take care of her, and he needs a nanny, and Kara is the nanny. She didn't want to be a nanny for another Hollywood actor, but she meets Brad's daughter. For the life of me, I can't think of her name, in a bathroom, and yeah, and she decided to become his nanny for his daughter. Oh, it's Nicole. That's what it says. So, yes, I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. Then I read Between by Cambria Herbert. This is book 1.5 in the Heaven and Hell series. This is a Logan's novella. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I won't tell you too much about it because it's 1.5 in a series, but it's paranormal. I did enjoy it. Then I read A Very Merry Hockey Holiday by Tony Aleo. This is book 6.5 in the Assassin series. This follows everyone. It's a Christmas novella, so this follows the 6 couples have met so far. And it also follows, you also get a look at Casey, who is in book 7. That you have not met before. So this follows, I'll just show you, because I don't, Lucas and Fallon, which is book 2. Audrey and Tate, which is book 3. This was also a reread. Piper and Eric, which was book 4. Reese and Philip, which was book 5. Ellie and Shay, which was book 1. Carson and Lacey, which is book 6. And Casey, which is book 7. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. Really enjoyed. And then I read book 7 in the Assassin series by Tony Aleo, Overtime. This follows Jordy and Casey. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Really enjoyed it. As I said in the Wanting to Forget, he has an injury, and he is also an alcoholic. This book deals with some hard stuff like alcoholism and him getting help and going to rehab and stuff like that. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Really did enjoy. Then we have Mason by Tajan. This is the prequel of the Fallen Crest series. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. Really enjoyed it. But this is Mason's point of view of before Fallen Crest High. You get a glimpse of him meeting Samantha, but you really get to see what Mason has dealt with before that series starts. I really enjoyed it. And then I read Fallen Crest Family by Tajan. This was a reread, and this is book 2 in the series. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. This follows Sam and Mason. I don't want to give too much away because it is book 2, and I feel like this series is better not knowing much about it. And that's all the books I read. As I said, I'll leave part 1 down below. If you want a full review on any of these, just let me know. I'll be happy to do it. Bye!